it's interesting because Will was a Styx fan when he was younger, so he listened to that music very carefully, and it all stuck in there. So there were times where he was having to remind us, hey, you're Styx, let's make it sound like Styx.
Yeah.
Because we've all kind of come along with the digital plugins and the digital, consoles, and just adding those ones and zeros to things and spanking the drums and getting to all those things. But it doesn't really make you think Styx, because what you hear mostly on the radio is the classic Styx. Well, we hadn't been, seasoned by the reality of the music business and that sort of thing. And that takes away from some of the innocence of a band when they're first coming along, where they still have that. We're all drinking from the same cup, riding in the same car, we're sharing rooms, and we're all pulling in the same direction. Very easy for that stuff to just dissipate, and, money and life and everything to start having a bad influence on the creative experience of a band. And time and life situations have put us back in this situation where we can be that thing again. This band is, we've become so strong over the last, 19, 20 years as a band, and we are all pulling in the same direction again, and we're all like, what's best for the song, what's best for the album, it was not hard for everybody to get behind this 100%.
I'll add, what was really cool about Tommy and the vision of this is that he even reached back prior to his being in Styx and examined things like Equinox and said, hey, you should really, he told me, he's like, check out Equinox, because there's some really standout progressive stuff on there. And if we're going to do the Styx thing, we need to catch a little bit of that. And I went back and I listened, and I'm like, wow. And then he and I were working on a song called Time May Bend on the record. And the intro is this total Equinox tip of the hat that Tommy composed. And I'm like, that'll fit great with this thing that I just wrote. And that's how that happened. But I thought it was very cool that you were reaching farther back into the Styx catalog.
But that was my life. I joined the band right after that record came along. And that made the difference between me going, well, I know they have the song Lady, and at the audition, when I heard Midnight Ride, all of a sudden I thought, I hope I haven't fucked this up. Because I was kind of like, whatever. When I heard Midnight Ride and then started hearing things like Mother Dear and that side of it, was like, oh my God, I've got to be in this band. And so it's part of my history, even though I wasn't on it. I went out and played those songs. We still play Sweet Madam Blue. That record was so deep and sincere, It was nice to be a part of it. Well, I think that's just part of it. I think that's a natural, life, circle of life thing. It is nice to still be healthy and everything works, and to be able to go out and perform like this. We haven't had to revamp or anything since '99. So the machine is well oiled. So we're able to do things like go at sound check and let's start working on these new songs. Everybody's so legged up now that no one has to get in shape or find their gear, or it's all right there with us. And so, but to be this, there have a lot of our peers have said goodbye, and there is a little bit of a heaviness there. It's sobering to take it more seriously, and I always think, and I think it's kind of a group mentality of, what if this is our last show? Let's leave everything we've got here. So if this was it, you've left a nice impression like that. So we do treat every show with the same, as much passion and energy as we can possibly come up with at that point.
Light it up, let's get this show on the road.